Good evening, everyone. I am Pawan Lahoti, founder and director of Stone World, and on behalf of Team Stone World, I welcome you all to our Insta Live series, The Design Talk. Hello. Yeah. Stone World, the stone dot world है sir. एक मिनट में आपको कनेक्ट करता हूँ. Just a moment. महक को फोन करके गौरव खंडेलवाल जी को कनेक्ट करना कैसे होगा? Just a moment, guys. Architect Gaurav Khandelwal is joining us within few minutes. Just a few minutes. Gaurav ji is joining us within few minutes. Hi Sanjit. Hi Anuradha. Hi Harsh. Hi Ranu. Hi Ravi. Hi Bhavna. Hi Shabbir Hussain. Hi Prashank. Hi Rahul. Hi Mehak. Hi Arpit. Hi Alok. Hi Shubham. Hi Sheetal. Yeah, good evening everyone. I am Pawan Lahoti, founder and director of Stone World, and on behalf of Team Stone World, I welcome you all to our Insta Live series, The Design Talk. Stone World owns the Central India's biggest showroom of natural stones, where all the products related to walls, floor, and ceiling are displayed live. We work on the concepts which can be customized as per the need of the architects, their theme, their design, and end users. Customization of any product is the key for us, and with an experience of over more than 18 years and dedicated creative team, Stone World is always there to innovate and create something new in natural stones. Today we are excited to launch the Design Talk, an Instagram series aimed to bring new ideas, inspiration, thought process, and solutions from renowned architects, interior designers, and landscapers of India. On the first live session of this series, today we have with us a renowned architect from Indore, architect Gaurav Khandelwal. founder and director of My Matan Architects, who has designed many prestigious projects like California City Club, Ras Vrindavan, Marriage Garden, etc. So let me join Mr. Gaurav to this live.
Hello.
Welcome, Gaurav sir.
Hello, good evening.
Good
Am I
evening.
audible?
Yeah. So before we begin, let me introduce Architect Gaurav sir, an architect, a planner, an activist, a tutor, and founder of My Matan Architects. He has worked with architects of national and international repute before starting his own consultancy practice in Indore in the year 2011. He has undertaken the form of designing and constructed several reputed projects in central region as well as other parts of the India. His building has been judged to be simple and direct solution of problems concerning the general function of the buildings, its economics, its aesthetics, and moreover, it's adaptive to the climate in context. He tries to be sympathetic to the immediate environment in terms of climate statement of the building forms, local and green building material, etc. His firm is engaged in almost all types of projects like residential, commercial, industrial, township projects, hospitality, etc. So welcome Gaurav sir. Welcome Gaurav sir to the design talk. और
Thank you, thank
जैसा
you.
आज का हमारा टॉपिक है बेसिकली हम लोगों ने एक सीरीज स्टार्ट की है जिसमें हम लोग डिजाइन पे बात करेंगे एंड टुडे आज हमारा टॉपिक है व्हाई प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच इज क्रूशियल इन डिजाइनिंग सो कैन आई स्टार्ट सर
Yeah, sure.
तो सर मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन है आपसे सी जैसे आप कोई प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट करते हैं तो व्हाट इज योर फिलोसफी योर थॉट प्रोसेस आपकी क्या एक थॉट प्रोसेस रहती है बिफोर स्टार्टिंग अ प्रोजेक्ट इज देयर एनीथिंग स्पेसिफिक यू लुक फॉर एनी इंस्पिरेशन
Um, ये क्वेश्चन ऐसा है जनरली जब हम डिजाइन फिलोसफीज की बात करते हैं तो वी जनरली we talk on design and planning directly to the fellow architects or designers and the colleagues or to the clients as well. But this is the first time when I'm going to talk on the process we adopted and in designing or planning of a project on an Instagram platform where everyone has joined this session. So there may be architects and designers and general public as well, who are not related to this industry. So it is very important that public understand this philosophy. To begin with, I would like to try and explain it little bit of the thoughts we went through while designing a project. So the first thing I must to tell that there is a big difference between the construction and the architecture. So we use the word architecture is very, very loosely. Everything constructed in Indore is architecture. But it is not like that. It is why it is so bad. There is a difference between literature and writing. You know, similarly, there is a difference between construction and the architecture. So most countries, the civilized countries and cities have understand this philosophy, but in our country we do mix it up. So one a renowned architect, Lee Corbusier, once told that the purpose of construction is making whole things together, right? But the purpose of architecture is to move us to the future, move us to the forward, right? So vividly, he said, like stones are dead things lying in quarries, uh, but the apps are pictures, are passion who created the stone. They convert stone into a sculpture. So it's a beautiful because you take inert material like stones, the brick, and steel, and you infuse them into the architecture. For example, you go to Kailasha temple or you visit Ajanta caves. So look at the passion in that work and what they puts to get that in. And I have take you through all this, but I don't mean that the architecture is an abstraction. No, obviously no. Architecture is not an abstraction. The building must work. The like if we say Picasso painting, a work of a painter, तो वो वर्क बहुत अच्छा है but it doesn't work. Like so architecture is not an abstraction, it's a it the building must work. So it
Functional.
has a purpose, and yeah, it has a purpose, and every design has a purpose, right? So architecture is not about zoning and the planning and drawings detailings, but architecture is our emotions, which is related to our surroundings, like our home. And see, more than 70% of our daily life surrounded by architecture, right? And where we love some spaces and hate some spaces, but on our emotions to the respective spaces. मुझे याद है जब हम बचपन में एक पुराने घर में रहा करते थे, जो एक कच्चे घर हुआ करते थे, उस तरीके के एक एनवायरनमेंट में हम रहते थे। तो जिस जिस जगह हम रहते थे, जिस रूम में मेरा जो रूम हुआ करता था, वहां से जब हमको वॉशरूम के लिए अगर जाना है तो वी नीड टू क्रॉस द कोर्टयार्ड एंड द अदर रूम्स. So it
Yeah,
was so embarrassing for me because everyone was watching you. So it was an embarrassing situation for us. So I really had that space, but I love my home. So it is a respective thing that your emotions are related to the respective spaces where you live, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this is what we think in our daily life and our architecture. And architecture existed the way before the architect did, right? Stone monoliths are the best example of it, right? The when the stone monoliths was constructed, then that time no architect was exist, right? The Ram Setu, made of stones, are one of the great examples of science and engineering. At that time, architects was not exist.
Yeah, that's true.
So the architecture existed the way before the architect did. So yes, I do inspire with the past. I'm really inspired with the past, and but it doesn't mean that I should start copying buildings from the past and make a cartoon of past in today's scenario. I must speak with the present time in my own voice, right? So this is the way I thought about the buildings. I thought about the philosophy behind my work. एक और चीज मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, जैसे हम बात करते हैं ग्रीक्स की, रोमन्स की, तो पैंथेनन वाज द बिल्डिंग, दैट बिल्डिंग वाज डिफाइंड द रोमन्स, राइट? But it is not that building was not connected to the nature, but in our culture, in Indian context, अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो our ancient structure was directly related to the nature. They merge their structures with the nature. Like if you visit Ajanta caves, so how they work in that caves, they cut it off the that heel into vihars and shrines, and they use those spaces. So we can't imagine architecture without nature.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So architects build the future, and my buildings are influenced with the past, and it should be an inspiration for the future.
That's a amazing
So
thought,
this
sir.
is my.
या मतलब आप चाहते हैं कि आपकी बिल्डिंग फंक्शनल हो और एक नई जनरेशन के लिए एक माइलस्टोन क्रिएट कर सके, वो कुछ ना कुछ नए आइडियाज दे सके उनको.
Yeah, definitely. मतलब हमें अपना पास्ट लेकर के चलना है. Work. We are working in a present time, and it must be. a landmark for the future.
अमेजिंग थॉट सर, अमेजिंग थॉट। सर मैं आगे आपसे ही पूछना चाहूंगा आपके एक फेवरेट प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में, कोई भी एक ऐसा इंटीरियर या आर्किटेक्ट प्रोजेक्ट जो आपने अभी तक आपके 12 साल के करियर में जो किए हैं, जिसपे आपको सबसे ज्यादा काम करने का मजा आया, कुछ चैलेंजेस आपने फेस किए, उनको आपने कुछ अलग तरीके से सॉल्व किया, क्या आपकी उसमें प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच रही सर, उसके बारे में हम कुछ थोड़ा जानना चाहते हैं।
Uh, it's a very direct question, Pawan sir. I didn't think in that way. Because ऐसा होता है ना कि every child is equal for their mother. So ऐसा काफी प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं जिनमें अलग अलग चैलेंजेस होते हैं, अलग अलग उनकी डिमांड होती है, वहाँ कंस्ट्रेंट्स अलग अलग होते हैं। तो कोई एक प्रोजेक्ट को ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट जो हमको कहना चाहिए बहुत अलग हो या जिसमें हमने चैलेंजेस फेस किए हों, ऐसा कोई स्पेशल तो नहीं होता, बट seriously speaking, a project we have completed in 2020, you have already mentioned in the introduction. That project was started with lots of challenges because the build structure was 60% completed, and we need to plan an interior of that building. And the building was a public building. It was a challenging one because एक इंडिविजुअल रेसिडेंस की अगर हम बात करें तो वो challenges इतने नहीं होते, हमें कंस्ट्रेंट पता है, हमें एंड यूजर के बारे में पता है। बट इस बिल्डिंग में तो वी रियली डोंट नो व्हाट टाइप ऑफ कम्युनिटी विल कम एज अ एंड यूजर। So that site was introduced as a purpose of a club activities with food facilities, and so we have started analyzing that building in that manner. Uh, and we have met to the client. Once we met to the client, and they give us a job कि आपको ऐसा ऐसा एक इंटीरियर का प्रोजेक्ट करना है। बट जब हमने उस पूरा बिल्ड फॉर्म को हमने एनालाइज किया, देन वी रियलाइजेस दैट there are so many things which is which was missed in that particular build form. So we instead of getting a proposal, we present ourselves with a questionnaire to the client. तो उस क्वेश्चनियर में हमने कुछ ऐसे जो हमने बिल्डिंग को एनालाइज किया, उसके साथ हमने जो कंस्ट्रेंट थे, जो उनका रिक्वायरमेंट था, उसकी को लेकर के हमने क्वेश्चनियर प्रिपेयर किया और उसके साथ हमने क्लाइंट को फेस किया। Then client have realized the thing ki yes, it's need a renovation first. So after a long meeting we conducted to renovate, we concluded to renovate the building first before starting the interior work. So it took 8 months to renovate it. And then we have started the interior work of that building. And the building was also proposed to use for wedding functions. So we thought about the Indian wedding culture, where things are so colorful and very well framed in patterns, right? And patterns of rituals, patterns in mehendi, and patterns in wedding dresses, and so on. So Indian weddings are very colorful, and there are so many patterns in the Indian wedding. So we adopted that thing of the pattern. So then we have searched some patterns in designing of floors, designing of walls, furnitures, uh, its ceilings, false ceilings, and curtains, tapestry. So in windows and especially in facade, we have used the brick jalis in facade, and it also designed in a pattern. So uh, basically, our selection was based on a theme of patterns, and the project was completed in approximate 2 years, and it is running successfully. So it was done in that way. I must say, matlab, because it was done in that way because of the client's trust and belief upon us. So he allows us to design in our own way whatever we want. So we did it.
सर मैं बहुत ही क्लोजली जुड़ा हुआ था इस पूरे प्रोजेक्ट में आपके साथ, तो आई मस्ट टेल यू this is really come out very well. आपका चाहे वो फसाड डिजाइनिंग हो, चाहे वो इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग हो, जो जो आप एस्पेक्ट की बातें कर रहे हैं, आई रियली सीन दोस डिटेल्स इन दिस, and I must congratulate you on that aspect, sir. Very beautiful project it is.
Thank you.
Amazing,
Thank you.
amazing, sir. सर मेरा
Thank you.
अगला जो एक क्वेश्चन है आपसे, आई वुड लाइक टू टॉक अबाउट द नेचुरल स्टोन्स, या अगर हम स्पेसिफिक बात करें, हाउ हैव यू इनकॉर्पोरेटेड नेचुरल एलिमेंट्स लाइक स्टोन्स इन लग्जरी डिजाइनिंग? आपका स्टोन्स को लेके क्या एक थॉट प्रोसेस रहता है, उसके बारे में हम कुछ जानना चाहते हैं सर.
What is luxury? Actually, it is a subjective word because अगर मैं बात करूं कि एक छोटी सी हम देखते हैं कई जगह एक छोटी सी झोपड़ी बनी होती है ना, आदिवासियों की कुछ झोपड़ी बनी होती है. अगर वो सिंपल एक नेचुरल ग्राउंड पर अगर कुछ टाइम रह ले और उसके बाद कुछ टाइम के बाद वो कहीं से इधर उधर से कुछ मटेरियल कलेक्ट करे और फिर उसे उस एक कंक्रीट बेड जैसा उसे अपने उस छोटे से स्पेस में अगर बिछा ले, तो इट्स अ लग्जरी फॉर हिम बिकॉज ही गेट अ रेगुलर फ्लोर, राइट? तो luxury is a subjective part because it directly connected with the demand and the affordability.
Surely.
So budget constraints, affordability, and the demand collectively it makes a luxury. For me, luxury is not lies in the fancy materials, and it lies in the contemporary use of the material.
Okay, yeah.
Like such as plants, vegetation, and greenery around the living spaces, and use of natural stones in buildings, and its surrounding landscapes, use of natural light and ventilation. So every time when I think of a building with permanent design solution instead of fancy and temporary aesthetics and so-called luxury, so I generally prefer natural stones, and I have some reasons for the use of natural stones in my designs because first of all, the adaptability of natural stones makes them suitable for all kind of interiors. And no matter what is your style, but you can use stones in so many ways.
Yeah.
And it creates luxury. If again I take you to the past and we talk about the palaces in Rajasthan, right? Forts in Rajasthan and palaces in Rajasthan, they all are made. The cladding was stone, the floor was stone. They designed they constructed their bathing areas in stones. So stone is a very stylish element of design, which can be used as a luxury. And second thing is the type of stones, and so because there are endless options in stones, and you choose according to your style and purpose, and of course your budget. So. In a single line, if I say luxury in any style of work, then stone is a very good material. So it is my definition of luxury.
Okay, okay. I think it's stone, like it's a timeless beauty, I can say.
Yeah, it's a timeless beauty. It's a forever thing.
सर आपके जब प्रोजेक्ट्स में आपके साथ काफी सारे अलग अलग तरीके के क्लाइंट्स रहते हैं, काफी अब सब लोगों की अलग अलग थॉट प्रोसेस होती है, किसी का अलग माइंडसेट होता है, उनकी अलग अलग सबकी पर्सनैलिटी सबकी अलग अलग होती है. तो जो मैं नेक्स्ट आपसे बात करना चाहता हूँ, हाउ डू यू रिफ्लेक्ट अ क्लाइंट्स पर्सनैलिटी बिहाइंड डिजाइनिंग एंड व्हाट आर द की फैक्टर्स यू लुक फॉर?
की फैक्टर्स, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, जब भी कोई प्रोजेक्ट हमारे पास आता है, कोई क्लाइंट हमारे पास आते हैं फॉर मेकिंग देयर प्रोजेक्ट, कुछ पैरामीटर्स होते हैं जिन्हें हम रखते हैं सामने. फर्स्ट, पहले तो हम उनके एक फैमिली स्ट्रक्चर को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं, राइट? family structure, and then their work, their profession, or their business. Then their social circle, their social relationships, right? The relationship with their surroundings or their neighbors. So और इसके साथ हम उसको एनालाइज करना स्टार्ट करते हैं तो then we conclude what is his personality or because personality is a thing that uh, people judge you uh, right by your maybe by your physical appearance or maybe your thoughts so it depends कि what are your choices, what are your social circle, what is your social relationship, your relationship with the surroundings, your relationship with the family. So it is very important. What is your profession? And there are hundreds of, if not thousands of parameters shaping our design, parameters that from the first glance can describe the personality of the owner inhabiting the design line.
Yeah.
So our relationships and our unique qualities, perspective, interpretation, and dreams are influenced by millions of parameters, and all are subdued to that personality. Right. So it's a mysterious force that attracts people, and that is personality. So a quality design is one that can be felt properly by the owner and attribute to him, even if it is not envisioned by him. So it's his shelter uh, between an unknown and chaotic environment and a little piece of heaven. And this extraordinary feeling defined the phrase we usually say that there is no place like our home.
Yeah.
So this is the extraordinary feeling with that. So this is all about the personality we see in our project of the client.
सर इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग जब हम करते हैं या हम कोई प्रोजेक्ट एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं काफी सारे मटेरियल्स अवेलेबल है, काफी सारे ट्रेंड्स हैं जो हर बार चेंज होते रहते हैं। आप देखते हैं हर 3-4 साल में कुछ नई चीज वापस आ जाती है, कुछ पुराने ट्रेंड्स वापस आते हैं। तो ऐसे कोई ट्रेंड्स इन डेकोर दैट यू थिंक इज मेकिंग अ कम बैक और इट इज गेटिंग अ पॉपुलर, आपके हिसाब से ऐसी कौन सी चीज है सर जो एक कम बैक कर रही है या पॉपुलर हो रही है इन दिनों में?
अगर मैं आर्किटेक्चर में बात करूं तो पहले एक कल्चर होता था जो जो आउटवर्ड था, राइट। मतलब ऐसा था कि पीपल आर वेरी मच लाइकली टू कनेक्ट विद द सराउंडिंग्स, विद द नेबर्स, right? And as well as they live in a joint family and they have a courtyard type of open spaces in their houses, right? So where they get together and they perform their skills. Kids are playing, है ना? तो इस तरह की कुछ spaces होती थी. Later on, when nuclear family comes, then the outward scenario was changed, and people started making balconies and to being a socialized, and they uh, they rejected the idea of courtyards. So, but after the COVID period, when people are stuck in their homes, and then for last 2 years we have started again the courtyard plannings, right?
ओके।
Because people are liking it again. So this is in the architecture, and when we talk about the finishes, so warm colors are back, and curves are replacing straight lines.
ओके।
In most of the projects, we are using curves instead of.
ओके। तो स्ट्रेट फॉर्म्स धीरे धीरे रिप्लेस हो रहे हैं सर कर्व से?
Not exactly, but people are liking it.
Okay.
They need a flawless spaces in their home or in their building, right? Um, अभी कुछ टाइम पीरियड पहले ओपन कंसेप्ट बहुत होता था, लेस वॉल्स एंड मोर ओपन स्पेसेस.
Yeah.
Now people are demanding the dedicated space.
Hmm.
पहले हम लिविंग एरियाज किचन्स और उनको हम कनेक्ट करते थे जो ओपन हम बनाते थे. अभी पीपल आर डिमांडिंग डेडिकेटेड स्पेस फॉर अ लिविंग एरिया, फॉर अ लाउंज एरिया, फॉर अ फॉर्मल ड्राइंग एरिया.
Yeah.
तो दिस इज दिस थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग. जो वापस आ रहा है, जो 80s 90s का टर्म था, वो वापस आ रहा है.
ये सब कोविड
सो
के बाद से हैं।
कोविड के बाद बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया. मतलब लास्ट 2 साल से तो हम ये कर ही रहे हैं. brass finishes are back
Okay.
in the designs, and rounded furniture, woven and wicker furniture are back. Right. So these stone claddings are and inlay work. Inlay work was gone for 7 8 years, and now
Yeah.
it is again coming back, and people are using it. Terrazzo tiles, the patterns and tiles, they are very much like in the kitchens and in the washrooms and even in the living spaces as well.
Yeah.
So people are liking it.
बहुत बढ़िया सर, हमारे कुछ क्वेश्चंस भी आए सर. आप
Yeah.
let me take it for you. Adi has mentioned it's awesome way to solving problem and make consumers aware with technical parts. So thank you Adi for your remarks.
Thank you.
सर काफी सारे आपके इनपुट्स आए, काफी हम लोगों को एक काफी अवेयरनेस आई कि हम क्या आपकी थॉट प्रोसेस होती है प्रोजेक्ट डिजाइनिंग में, कैसे आप उस चीज को पूरा एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं और कैसे क्लाइंट की पर्सनैलिटी को ध्यान में रखते हुए उनके हिसाब से आप बिल्डिंग डिजाइन करते हैं. तो एक टाइमलेस और एक फंक्शनल एस्पेक्ट भी जो आपने बताया हमको कि बिल्डिंग में एक फंक्शनल एस्पेक्ट भी होना चाहिए, तो बहुत ही अच्छा थॉट है सर. आपसे बात करके काफी मजा आया और थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम और इट वाज वंडरफुल सेशन विद यू.
Thank you. It was I'm also very much thankful to you because you gave this platform to interact with people and colleague architects and other designers, and
सर
to
इनके
share
अलावा
the
भी जैसे
thought.
काफी सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं या हमारे जैसे फ्रेटर्निटी के लोग हैं जो काफी कुछ नया सीखना चाहते हैं, क्या कमबैक से डिजाइन में या क्या थॉट प्रोसेस आपकी चलती है, उसके हिसाब से हम क्या क्या प्रोडक्ट्स भी लेकर आ सकते हैं. तो इस तरह के थॉट प्रोसेस भी यहीं से निकल के आते हैं कि सर कि क्या डिजाइन में चल रहा है, क्या आपकी लाइकिंग होती है. तो डेफिनेटली ये सारे इनपुट हम लोगों के या हमारे जैसे काफी सारे लोगों के लिए भी काम में आएंगे.
Sure.
तो थैंक यू सो मच सर, वंस अगेन थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
गुड बाय सर, गुड बाय, हैव अ नाइस टाइम.
Thank you.
Thank you so much everyone for joining in today's session. Thank you so much.